Hello and welcome to this video introducing the power of process and document automation in CURO. This video is designed to set the scene as to how automation can help businesses improve customer outcomes, boost profits and reduce risks, where processes are managed in a more automated and consistent way. In this video, we're going to show you how you can capture inquiries directly from your website into CURO, automate routine processes to release time for more important tasks, automate the production, sending and storing of documents based on system triggers, and complete an AML process in seconds with the results being captured back into CURO. CURO is the most modern client management system available for financial advice businesses, and it's built on the global client relationship management system Microsoft Dynamics 365 CRM. We hope that this simple video will give you a hint as to the art of the possible. With CURO, the possibilities are endless. So let's take a look and you be the judge. For this presentation, I'll be focusing on a fictional financial planning firm called Prospero Wealth. Prospero has just completed a marketing campaign to drive traffic to its website. One of the recipients of the email was James Jenkins. James is worried about the level of protection he has in place for his wife, Laura, who's just had a new baby, and is keen to make sure that, should anything happen to him, his family will be well looked after. The arrival of the email from Prospero is well timed. As James reads the website, he's comforted by what he's reading and decides to make contact. So he opens up the contact form on the Prospero Wealth website. Having completed the form, he carefully selects the requirement, adds a few notes before clicking submit. In our experience, the majority of businesses that have a web form on their website would now receive an email notifying them of the new inquiry. This is frail, as there is no company oversight or visibility as to what happens to the lead until somebody manually updates their back office system, which may take days, if at all. This is potentially wasteful, as new business opportunities could be lost altogether, potentially costing the firm many thousands of pounds in income, as well as reputational damage. In the case of CURO users, this is altogether different. Back at Prospero Wealth, the team of marketeers are monitoring the lead management dashboard. You'll see that there were 5 leads received in December, but not yet for January. A quick refresh of the dashboard, and we see that in fact there have now been 1 lead received in January, and it's from James Jenkins. Richard Stanton, the marketing manager, immediately jumps on the new inquiry by clicking on the task that's been created by CURO when the lead was generated. This system-generated task was automatically routed to the website leads queue, where all of the marketing team has oversight. From the task, Richard can click on the hypertext link to jump directly to the lead record. It's here that he can see all of the information stored correctly on the lead form as a result of the website form message, mapping the right data collected on the web form against the corresponding fields in CURO. It's worth pausing for a few seconds to see what CURO has done following the inquiry from the Prospero Wealth website. As we've already seen, a task was created which was routed to the website leads queue. This was managed by an unattended workflow, which was triggered when the lead was created by the web form message. After a minute, the workflow then looked at the source of the lead and fired a child workflow to create and send James a personalised brochure, as you can see here. The brochure is created and sent to James automatically via a workflow, and makes use of the Experdo template builder, which is the subject of another CURO video. The brochure introduces Prospero Wealth, its unique way of working, and is specific to James's area of interest as shown. In order to qualify the lead and to make sure that all of the relevant and important data is captured, CURO makes use of a process flow. This useful function allows us to group all of the critical data on the CURO form into a series of stages, as shown here. These stages enable the operator to capture the right data in the right order, as well as evoke processes to do things at the appropriate time. Richard now sets about qualifying the lead so that he can then allocate the new prospect to the appropriate advisor. Richard calls the client and starts completing the process flow. The first stage is to make sure that the business has permission to store James's data on the Prospero CURO system for GDPR purposes. Having received consent, Richard moves on to the next section. You'll notice that as Richard completes a section, a tick appears in the section header to give the operator a visual reference as to where they are in the process. The postcode lookup tool ensures data is collected in a completely consistent way across all users. This is essential for managing data integrity and ensures that report or letter templates that rely on address data being stored in a particular way work. These simple utilities help with the day-to-day use of CURO. Richard continues to fill in the process flow, capturing all of the essential information in order for him to then pass the client to the appropriate advisor. As Richard completes the household details section, it becomes apparent that James is in need of a more detailed financial planning service than originally thought, because Richard has identified that James has recently won the lottery and had a significant sum in cash in his current account. As a result, he advised the client that rather than focus on protection at outset, a more detailed financial review would be required. For this, Richard recommended that James had a comprehensive financial plan created for him. The fee for this service was agreed at £5,000, and Prospero Wealth's expert financial planner, Roland, was appointed the primary advisor for this inquiry. When Roland's name was entered into the advisor field and the form saved, a workflow monitoring the advisor field is triggered and an email sent to Roland providing details of the lead in an encrypted format with a request that Roland contact the client to move the process to the next stage. Roland calls the client, confirms the details and agrees that the next action would be to have a meeting. The date is set and the initial meeting field completed. Another workflow monitors the initial meeting field, and when the form is saved, it's triggered. The workflow now creates a meeting in CURO, which then updates Outlook automatically, and James receives an email with the meeting confirmation and a pre-meeting pack, so that he can come to the meeting prepared with all the relevant information. Having completed the process flow and booked the meeting, Roland can now close the lead and move James's information to the account and contact databases in CURO so that the full KYC process can be completed. This is achieved using another CURO process called a dialogue. Dialogues step the user through a series of simple screens, allowing them to capture additional information as required. Once the dialogue is finished, the new account and contact records are created. Importantly, all data and activities completed so far are carried over and mapped to the account and contact records so that a full audit trail is maintained. In order to navigate to the new records, we use the Quick Find tool in CURO's header. Simply type in the name, click the search icon, and the system will find all account, contact, leads and activities containing the name recorded. The same search tool can be used to find many other records, including plan records from plan numbers, for example. When we select the Jenkins household account, we see a new form and process flow to guide the user through the various steps to ensure complete data capture, as well as the creation of the initial and ongoing reviews. In this example, the first thing we need to do is send James an engagement letter. However, before we do this, we need to add James's wife and associate her to the account. The simplest way of doing this is simply to click into the secondary contact field and click New. This initiates a quick create form from the new contact record. This is where you add basic contact information in order to create the new contact form in CURO. Although the engagement letter can be issued via workflow as part of the process flow, for the sake of brevity, I'll go straight to the engagement and segmentation section of the account form. We've set up a workflow that's triggered when the agreement date field is changed, and so when today's date is added into the field, the workflow fires, changes the client agreement flag from no to yes, and then creates and sends the client agreement to James and Jenny via DocuSign. As you will see from the DocuSign email, which is branded Time for Advice, we use all of the functions demonstrated in our own version of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. This gives us unique insights into the capabilities of Dynamics on which CURO is built. In every respect, we practice what we preach, which is important for our clients to understand. Many of the challenges our clients will experience when using a system like CURO, we've already found a solution for, and so we're a real resource to help you get the most from CURO. Having reviewed the client agreement, Jenny signs. Once James has signed the document, a signed copy will be sent to each of the stakeholders, as well as a summary document detailing when the document was generated, sent, signed, as well as having the IP address of the machine on which the document was signed for audit purposes. DocuSign has transformed the speed with which documents are dealt with by clients, which in turn saves hours of effort chasing documents when sent in a PDF or paper format. A copy of the email and attachments is captured back against the account record for audit purposes as shown. Having completed the engagement letter, we now need to prove the identity of James. To do this, we select James's name on the account form. Importantly, this is a hypertext link to his CURO contact record. When on James's contact record, we now need to complete the KYC client verification. To do this, we navigate to the main navigation menu and select the client verification button. This allows us to initiate the AML process via the integration with Smart Search. The process starts with a pop-out record that confirms that we're searching on the correct address, and then allows us to add in more information as required, such as national insurance number, driving licence number and passport details. Once the form has been completed and we've confirmed that the client has given us consent to perform a search, the data is sent to Smart Search via a CURO Application Program Interface, or API. And it's now that Smart Search performs its check. In a matter of seconds, the check is completed and Smart Search returns a message to CURO via the same API, which then creates a new anti-money laundering record against James's record in CURO. All of the data and the AML documents are automatically entered into this new record, saving hours of wasteful data entry time. This is yet another example of how CURO can release time to do more important tasks than just entering more and more data. Although it's possible to reference the Smart Search AML report directly from the form, it's also possible to create an Experito template to present precisely the information you want and in the format you want it, merging not only the data but also the Smart Search document as shown. As you can see, James failed the AML as expected as his made-up client. Navigating back to the account via the account hypertext link of the contact form, we can then navigate to the client verification button against the account, where we'll find the AML record just completed against James's contact record. This demonstrates that all records are rolled up to the account record, which ensures an aggregated view of all records related to each of the connected contact records. Clicking on the CURO logo on the top left hand of the screen navigates us back to the CURO dashboards. I hope that you've enjoyed this brief video. As mentioned at outset, this video was designed to introduce the concept of process and document automation to demonstrate how CURO can help improve customer outcomes, boost profit and reduce business risk. By building on the existing CURO processes, you'll be able to further finesse your use of CURO so that over time the system reflects the way you work best. Thank you for watching, and please do review our other CURO videos.